Okay, so I am very much in favor of learning grammar, learning vocabulary, because I myself, even I want to go to that level of, having an edge in the language, having a mastery in my communication. So till now, even now, I practice, grammar, vocabulary, because for me, it's for me, right?
True,
I
true.
am improving my communication. I don't want to prove to anybody what rules of grammar I know or not. No, it will just automatically reflect in my conversation. That's it. So I would
Yeah.
suggest that for learning grammar, I don't know. I've never seen those YouTube channels because as I told you, I'm not into like I don't know. I don't watch YouTube channels for grammar, but my preferred way of reading and learning has always been a very book based. I'm a very bookish person, I would say. So there's one very good site, EnglishGrammar.org. Okay, I suggest to many learners because I think it's a very user friendly website. So practice, okay? Read about a topic in grammar and practice through online exercises or MCQs. So give yourself practice also. That's an output, right?
Okay.
If you're just
Yeah.
watching the videos, it's just an input. Where is the output, right? So do practice it with the help of sentences, constructing sentences on your own, writing something, okay? Till now, it's just one way of output that you're just focusing on the speaking part. But for
Mhm.
language, we have four aspects: reading, learning, writing, and speaking. All of these four aspects go together for mastering any language. If you're just focusing on speaking, that means you're just, you just want that, okay, I should be just able to speak fluently, and that's it. No language. No language can be mastered in that way. We have to work on all of these four aspects. Okay, reading, writing, listening, and speaking. These four go hand in hand. Okay, so go through grammar topics. Okay, and I would suggest that you do not need all the topics in grammar. There are three four topics which you need to speak fluently, which is your goal as of now. So I would suggest pay focus on tenses. Okay, that is where you are making more mistakes while communicating. Okay, so go through the topic of tenses, subject verb agreement, that is the second topic. Okay, so yeah, so as of now, I could spot these two topics. Hello,
Hello, ma'am. Very good morning. How are you doing
good
today?
morning. I'm great, nice to see you. Would you like to
Correct.
tell me something about yourself?
Sure, ma'am. I would love to tell about myself. My name is Shiv, as you know, and I born and raised in Uttarakhand. By profession, I'm a government employee. As far as my academic qualification concerned, I'm done with my master in English, master in commerce, and this year I'm pursuing my master in economics.
Oh
In
my
addition
god.
to those, yeah,
Three master's
I
degree.
yeah, I'm trying.
It's
I'm
amazing.
trying to let's see.
Oh my god. That's awesome.
Uh, and I run my own small YouTube channel by the name of English with Teacher Shiv, where I upload spoken English content at the same time some one-on-one conversational videos. So that's all from my side in brief.
Oh wow! But you are already masters in English, and you're already you have your own YouTube channel for English content. Then why the need for joining these classes?
Well, actually, ma'am, I feel we all have some shortcomings and drawbacks. We all have some areas where we need to work upon. So I thought of to work upon on my weak points through this English Yaari application. And at the same time, there are some students who have been requesting me for some queries. Though I tried my best in order to answer their questions to gratify their soul, but again, I thought of to discuss the same questions with you because those questions something which are mind queries as well. So that made me to take a paid subscription through this English Yari application.
Mhm. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Great. Great. Okay. So I'll tell you about myself. I'm Vidhi Dugal. I'm based in Delhi. I have 7 years of experience of teaching English. And apart from that, I'm also an IELTS and PTE trainer. And besides that, I have my own blog site where I write blogs, stories, and articles. Okay. All right. So
Ooh.
our today's topic is TV shows you are glued to. Would you like to discuss this topic?
Well, ma'am, if it is okay for you, sure, I do have some query in which I want to talk about. So if it is okay, so I want to talk about these questions so that I would be benefited by this English Yaari session. So is it
Okay.
okay?
Yeah, yeah, perfectly fine.
Yeah, thank you for giving this privilege to me, ma'am. Well, ma'am, as since I started learning this language till now, I haven't learned grammar in my entire life. I don't know why, but I didn't feel to learn it. But these days, when I'm having conversation with people, and especially profession trainers like you and some prominent YouTubers who have been running their channel based on English content, so somewhere I feel that grammar plays a very vital and imperative role in order to have a very smooth and fruitful conversation. But now I want to ask you, I just want to ask you that how one can improve his grammar, and at the same time, is it literally important to learn grammar in order to speak English fluently?
Yes, according to me, yes. Now, see, even if you're learning let's talk about our mother tongue only. Okay, I'll tell you why grammar is important. Grammar is important for learning any language. See how we learn our own mother tongue. What's your mother tongue? Is it Hindi? Mine is Hindi.
Yeah, it is. It is Hindi.
Now, see, let's see when we start learning our own mother tongue, right? Initially, we pick up words and phrases and even sentences just by conversing with our friends and family members, right? But however,
Yes.
after a certain point in time, as we grow, right, we tend to we tend to construct those kind of broken sentences when we start building sentences on our own, right? And then that is the time, even for our mother tongue, we start learning grammar in school, right? And when we learn the nuances of grammar, then we, as a child or as a student, we are able to build correct sentences, the correct and meaningful
Yeah.
sentences, right? If we don't
True.
learn grammar, we can speak our mother tongue, but that will be like, broken sentences. Or let's say someone who is a non-native speaker of Hindi, right? And if that person picks up language from just by having conversation with others, what kind of sentences they make, right? So you can
Yeah.
make out, somewhere the subject verb agreement is not there, or somewhere the verb is not going according to the gender of the person, right? I'm talking about in Hindi, right? Then
Yes.
we start learning grammar. As we start learning grammar, our sentences become way better, the quality of sentences improve. We are able to construct different kind of sentences, not just simple sentences, but we can make, longer sentences, more meaningful sentences. We can convey different expressions and ideas, right? Now, this is how
Yes.
grammar plays a role, right? In every language. You start learning every language. After a certain point in time, initially you start by learning just picking up sentences and phrases, right? Basic words, vocabulary. Then again, you have to learn grammar. So that is how grammar is important for English as well. It is just another language, right? So you can pick up by conversing with others, yes. However, when you start constructing sentences on your own, when you start conveying your own thoughts and ideas, it is better that you know grammar so that you can make correct and meaningful sentences, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Have I
But
answered?
I just want to ask you one thing that somewhere I feel that when you start immersing yourself into grammar, which means when you are trying to learn this language and you are giving more focus towards your accuracy, which means whenever I speak, I should speak grammatically correct. I should not make a single mistake during my spoken part. So somewhere, don't you think so? Like when I will be focusing more on grammar, I would not able to express my thoughts the way I'm expecting from my side because my mind would think about the grammar rule that am I speaking correct? Am I speaking wrong? Shall I use have? Shall I use has? And my mind would be divided into two different parts. One who is actually thinking about grammar mistake, like I should not make a single grammar mistake. And the second part of brain is working towards the content generation, which I literally need to speak out. So what do you say about it?
See. Again, I would take the resort of our mother tongue. Okay, I'll give example from mother tongue because we understand our mother tongue better, right? And English is just a foreign language. Now, let's say when you have studied, you studied mother tongue in your school. You must have, right? You
Yes,
during your school years, you must have learned the grammar part as well, right? Once you have
true.
mastered those grammar mistakes, and now when you converse, you express your thoughts in your mother tongue. Do you focus on the grammar aspect?
No, I
No,
don't.
it comes
Yes,
naturally because you have mastered
yeah,
those concepts, right? Similarly with the other
right.
language, English, any language, you start learning any language, the same basic rules will apply. Okay, even if if I start learning, let's say French or Spanish, I will have to learn about grammar as well, so that I can, form smoothly sentences. Initially, it does take time. Language learning, any language learning, takes a minimum of, let's say, 1 to 1.5 year, right? After that, once you learn grammar, then vocabulary you keep on acquiring. Okay, you kind of dig deeper into that. You keep on acquiring, but once you master the concepts of grammar, then you don't need to focus on that. Then you kind of become, you have that practice, then you do not need to focus on or grammar aspect, and you can simply convey your ideas smoothly. Okay, so that is what. In fact, in the just the previous session, I was talking to a learner, and he was talking about Amitabh Bachchan. He was giving the example of Amitabh Bachchan, how fluently he speaks, right? I mean, imagine, look at the way he converses in even Hindi. Okay, Hindi and English. Don't you think his Hindi is way better than ours? Can we speak so fluently in Hindi, right? That's our
No,
mother tongue. But why
yeah,
we admire his Hindi speaking skills? Isn't there that an edge? Where does that edge come from? Yeah. So the same
yeah,
thing for English. Okay. So I am very much in favor of learning grammar, learning vocabulary, because I myself, even I want to go to that level of, having an edge in the language, having a mastery in my communication. So till now, even now, I practice, grammar, vocabulary, because for me, it's for me, right?
true,
I
true.
am improving my communication. I don't want to prove to anybody what rules of grammar I know or not. No, it will just automatically reflect in my conversation. That's it. So
But in
it's
my
my.
case, ma'am, not only one, two, in fact, three times, I try to learn grammar by my own and own. And sometimes I take the help of YouTube videos as well. But what happened to me that whenever I'm speaking, I'm just explaining a topic or I'm having a conversation.
Sure.
So, like, I'm talking a lot and I'm fumbling because I am focusing more in my grammar that I should not make any mistake in grammar. My rate of speech is getting low, and that voice modulation, intonation. Like when I'm speaking, it seems to be that I'm just pretending that I know English and that I'm speaking. But when
Correct.
I'm not focusing in grammar, means, for example, I have to have a conversation, and I should not think about my grammar mistake, my accuracy, and I just need to think about that conversation should be very fruitful and constructive. Then I would be in my flow, and I can speak far better than like I would feel myself that I'm a bit confident. I'm more confident as compared to the time when I was talking when I was focusing on my grammar. And
True.
I don't know, I'm still dubious and bit skeptical about the answer of this question. Shall I lose my flow fluency at the cost of getting accuracy in terms of spoken English? So, what do you think about it?
So see, I would suggest that when you're talking to someone, right? I know all the time you cannot pay attention on the grammar, but that practice, give yourself that practice of grammar when you are not speaking in front of anyone. Okay, so when you have free time, when you are free, you're learning. Okay, what till now what you're doing is that you're learning from YouTube channels. Fine. Okay, so you're kind of understanding the concept, but you're not providing yourself the practice of grammar, right? It's like learning to swim, okay, just by sitting at the side of the pool. You can't, right? Give yourself that practice also. No, if I just teach you, okay, this is how you have to. I'm just modeling it in front of you, showing it in front of you on a video that okay, this is how you can swim and you can do that. Will you be able to swim when you go to the pool?
No, no, I
No.
cannot.
So
Yeah,
practice, right? So I would
yeah.
suggest that for learning grammar, I don't know. I've never seen those YouTube channels because as I told you, I'm not into like I don't know. I don't watch YouTube channels for grammar, but my preferred way of reading and learning has always been a very book based. I'm a very bookish person, I would say. So there's one very good site, EnglishGrammar.org. Okay, I suggest to many learners because I think it's a very user friendly website. So practice, okay, read about a topic in grammar and practice through online exercises or MCQs. So give yourself practice also. That's an output, right?
Okay.
If you're just
Yeah.
watching the videos, it's just an input. Where is the output, right? So do practice it with the help of sentences, constructing sentences on your own, writing something, okay? Till now, it's just one way of output that you're just focusing on the speaking part. But for
Mhm.
language, we have four aspects: reading, learning, writing, and speaking. All of these four aspects go together for mastering any language. If you're just focusing on speaking, that means you just want that, okay, I should be just able to speak fluently, and that's it. No language, no language can be mastered in that way. We have to work on all of these four aspects. Okay, reading, writing, listening, and speaking. These four go hand in hand. Okay, so go through grammar topics, okay? And I would suggest that you do not need all the topics in grammar. There are like three, four topics which you need to speak fluently, which is your goal as of now. So I would suggest pay focus on tenses. Okay, that is where you are making more mistakes while communicating. Okay, so go through the topic of tenses, subject verb agreement, that is the second topic. Okay, so yeah, so as of now, I could spot these two topics where you need more practice. Okay, so what I'm just kind of narrowing down for you. You do not need to cram up all the book. Okay, just focus on these two topics. Read about these topics. Englishgrammar.org is a good website. Read about it. Practice through online MCQs. One way of doing so. Second, if you want my help, I can explain these topics to you in these classes. Okay, and I can give you practice in speaking, right? And the third way is maybe your way, YouTube. If you prefer YouTube, specifically focus on these two topics for now. Okay, a lot of problems, a lot of things will be sorted, right?
Okay, so in nutshell, I need to make a balance between input and output, which means like the rules and regulations related to grammar I have been learning, I should put in practical way. Like I have to
Yes,
indulge
yes.
myself to doing some practical exercises as you have
Either you
suggested, like
write it
English
out
dot.
or
Yeah.
take online exercises. Not just one. There are many websites these days. There are many good content available for grammar. So either by way of writing, okay, or by way of doing some exercises for grammar based certain topics, okay, where you are making more mistakes, right? So and that's it.
Okay.
So practice through online exercise, and then when you practice it, then while speaking, right, you will not be bothered that much because you have already practiced it, right? So you're mastering it side by side. Then while
Yes.
practicing, okay, it will not pose a problem for you that ways. Okay, because you
Uh,
will sort these
yeah.
issues.
Yeah. Well, I just want to know, for example, like beginner like me in terms of grammar, who doesn't have any information about subject, verb, rule, agreement, then noun, adjective, adverb, all this stuff. And I just want to speak English as I can speak in my own native language, Hindi. I want that level of smoothness and a natural way. So I want to know from your side, what would be the process and what are the steps that I need to follow since top to bottom, and the grammar which I need to follow, and in order to master grammar at that level where I can speak a bit accurate, means no one can spotify my any blunder in terms of grammar. So from where I should start on a proper roadmap, top to bottom. I hope I made it clear what exactly I wanted to ask you.
Yes, no worries. Okay, so start with these two topics in grammar. Okay, subject verb agreement and tenses as of now. And for practice speaking more. How you can do it is that you can do shadow technique, shadow practice. For that,
Okay.
there is plenty of content on YouTube. Rather, if you're watching, let's say you watch any TED Talk video or any podcast or any English content by native speakers of English, use the subtitles. Okay, so switch on the subtitles, and the way the speaker is saying, practice speaking in the same way, in the same pronunciation, intonation. So try to mimic them. Okay, so that is called shadow technique of learning a language, right? By this also you will improve your fluency a lot. Okay, but this ways, yes, you will be able to improve your fluency, you'll be able to speak comfortably, but still these two topics in grammar will help you in reducing the errors which you are making currently in while speaking. Okay, and plus by this technique you will also be able to improve your vocabulary. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
so
Yes.
start with this, and try to increase your overall exposure to language. Okay, see, let's say if you want to learn a different language, I am just reading through books, right? Then my exposure to that language is very limited. Okay, let's say I want to learn a third language, any foreign language, my exposure to that language is very limited. No one around me is speaking that language. Okay, so how am I hearing it? I'm not, I don't have sufficient exposure for that. So the first thing is to increase the exposure. Try to listen to whatever content you watch on YouTube. Make sure that it is in English. Okay, whatever text you are reading, make sure that it is English. So read up English books or articles. While reading, do loud reading practice. There are two ways of reading. One is silent reading, where you absorb the content, where you understand vocabulary. Second is loud reading, which gives you practice in speaking out. Okay, verbalizing those words and sentences. Right? So every day, just pick up any article, any any book, whatever you like, as per your interest. Read it out loudly. Stand in front of the mirror. Read it out loudly. Okay, it will just take 5 to 10 minutes, 5 minutes max. Okay, so loud reading practice. Okay, and let's say you watch any TED Talk video or podcast. Okay, for shadow technique, that will take, that video is I think barely for like 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so that will give you in practice in reading as well as speaking. Oh, sorry, listening and speaking. So that will improve these two. Okay, listening and speaking, right? So speak it along that video. Just speak it along. Okay. Then reading and writing. Okay, writing. Okay, if you don't want to focus it, and as of now, it's all right. But reading, yes, definitely. Okay, reading gives you practice with different types of sentence structures, how to express your thoughts and ideas. So read different type of content. Okay, not just one novel or one particular type of text, because it has the same tonality. Okay, similar thought process throughout. Instead, take some different articles or blogs or anything, stories, whatever you like. Okay, read it to understand how. Let's say if you read stories, okay, so the stories are ideally ideally set in past tense. Okay, so you'll pick up past tense from there, how to use past tense correctly. Okay, if you read blogs and articles based on current topics, they are ideally using what present tense. So you will improve. That ways also you will improve. How to maintain that consistency of tense throughout. Okay, so there is a lot that you'll pick up, right? So try to have at least 15 minutes, on all of these. 15 minutes of reading, 15 minutes of listening, 15 minutes of speaking, and if possible, then try to express your thoughts. Let's say write a few sentences, planning your day, how was your previous day, anything. Write couple of days, a couple of sentences, so that you have another output. Okay,
Yes.
so you'll improve.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the time of the session is about to end. So at the end of session, I just want to know from your side a feedback. not only for grammar, but also overall feedback. Like, what do you think about my spoken part? What are the areas of improvement that I need to work upon so that I would be work on these flaws and maybe I'll become speaker like you.
No, no, it's okay. See, you don't need to become something like me, because even I am, a learner. I also try to learn and improve myself every day. Okay, nobody is a master, right? There's always a chance
True.
of improvement. But however, if you ask for feedback, so I told you in grammar, tenses and subject verb agreement, these two topics. Okay, so
Okay.
tenses were not used consistently and correctly, right? Plus vocabulary. Yes, what I can see that yes, you have, you are learning vocabulary and you try to use different words. However, somewhere those words are not used in their correct context. Okay, so with vocabulary, that is another challenge, that we have to use the words in the correct context, right? For
Yes,
example,
sir.
nobody will be able to Spotify my mistakes. Spotify is no word, okay? It's just the name of that app. Okay, nobody will be able to spot my mistake, right?
Yeah.
So that's a better one. Okay, so vocabulary misuse, right? It comes under vocabulary misuse, so work on vocabulary as well, on the correct usage, using vocabulary in the correct context. Okay,
Okay.
that's the thing.
Yes.
Secondly, yes, you can express your ideas very fluently in English. I would say yes, fluency is there. You can speak at length. For this half an hour or so, you've been speaking only English, so you are able to convey your ideas. But yes, if you want to improve, so these are my suggestions, that I am very much in favor of grammar. For I think for every language we need grammar, okay, to
Yes.
speak out, to create our own sentence structures rather than just using other sentences, right? We should be able to create our own different sentences. If we are just picking up from others, we are ideally using their sentences, okay, to convey the thoughts. Why to use their sentences, right? Why not create our own sentences? That's what my belief is. Okay. Plus, yes, speak as much as you can. Okay. Do not be bothered about what mistakes you are making. Practice it side by side. But while speaking, do not be so much bothered with what the errors that you are making. It's good that you are aware so that you can practice it when you are not speaking in front of anybody, right? Just go with the flow, keep on speaking, keep on just sharing your ideas, maintain a moderate pace, because with that, if we control our pace, our sentences are way better. We are able to convey our ideas clearly, okay, and grammatically, to some extent the sentences are grammatically correct also. So moderate a same pace, moderate pace, and then later, okay, side by side in your free time, keep on working on improvement. Okay,
Yes.
so
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, these are my suggestions. Anything else?
Yes. No, no, ma'am. Like, since I started learning this language till now, it has been a controversial topic for me. Like, should I learn grammar or not? But the way you elucidate each and every single aspect of grammar, it gave me a better clarity that I have to indulge myself into grammar, not deep down, but at least in a superficial way, so that I would able to speak English a bit confident with the confident at the same time, I would not make a blunder anyway. And thanks, ma'am, for sharing the speeches and important points with me related to grammar and else as well. It was
Thanks.
literally a very fruitful and constructive session for me. Thank you,